Hey loves, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you that are brand new, I'm Candace and welcome to my journey. So actually this week I wanted to give you guys another TTC update for baby number 2. I actually had an appointment this week, and the appointment was actually to begin the preparations for my ERA test. So in my last TTC update, I let you guys know that my doctor recommended the ERA test again, even though I've had it previously. And so I was kind of up in the air about, should I do another ERA test? I really don't want to do another ERA test. And so obviously I had no idea, but any type of trauma to the uterus can change the receptivity of the uterus. And of course, a C-section is very traumatic to my poor uterus. And so we are going to go ahead and move forward with another ERA test. The good thing is I only have to do one biopsy this time as opposed to 2. And so what they're going to do is just compare the biopsy they got this time and just make sure that nothing has changed and that I am still all good and I am still pre-receptive and needing that additional 24 hours of, was it 12 hours? 12 hours of progesterone. So this last appointment I went to, I got an ultrasound where they kind of checked everything out just to make sure that we could move forward in the direction of doing another ERA test. And for those of you that don't know, an ERA test is basically a mock transfer. So it's literally doing everything that you would do as if you're preparing for transfer, but except for on that day that they would normally do a transfer, they do that ERA biopsy. So I had to do all the medications, I had to start all the progesterone shots, and so that's really where I am now. Also, they did a lining check, which I wasn't expecting, but the crazy thing is my doctor wants your lining to be around an 8 before moving forward with the transfer. And so this particular lining check, my lining was at 8.88, which is crazy because my lining has never been like that perfect. Even with transferring with Victory, I was just barely at an 8, and I was taking 9 estradiol pills a day just to help thicken that lining. And so this time, and I have to be honest with y'all, I haven't really done anything. I haven't been doing half of the things I did when I was preparing for transfer with Victory. I mean, I was drinking palm juice, I was doing all the acupuncture, I was doing everything, to help that lining become thicker. And this time around, I guess I'm so busy with a toddler that I have not even had the mind space to focus on doing anything to help my lining, and it's already perfect exactly the way it is. So that was a little bit like really. I did begin acupuncture. That was after my lining check though, so I have started acupuncture, which I plan to do every week as I did before, and up until transfer and probably through pregnancy as well. And so that's really where we are now. I had the ultrasound, I had the blood work. I do have a low level of vitamin D. So I picked these up at my local pharmacy, Rainbow Light. They're very delicious, get it, for vitamin D. And these are raspberry flavor. These are actually so good. There's 2,500 IUs, and they recommended that I take 5,000 IUs a day of vitamin D. So I'm taking 2 of these a day, and they're just like little like vitamin chews. They're really, really good. So yeah, I'm taking 2 of these a day of the little vitamins. So I did start taking vitamin D. I do not remember ever having a low level of vitamin D, so that kind of took me by surprise, but I'm sure it's nothing of any concern or anything. And so I continue to take these as well as my prenatal, and hopefully it will help my vitamin D levels, because as I told you guys before, vitamin D is so important when you're trying to conceive. In my supplements video that I recorded for you guys, and so I needed to take my own advice and take some vitamin D, which I hadn't done, but I'm doing that now. So also in preparation for the ERA test, I started the estradiol pills. I think I started these around cycle day 2. Cycle day 2, cycle day 3. I think it was cycle day 2. So I'm taking 4 of these a day, 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening, and those are really just to help thicken the lining. And I've taken these before. I took them in both of my previous IVF cycles and my ERA cycle as well. So the estradiol, I've been reintroduced to Old Faithful estradiol. And then in addition to the Estradiol, I'm taking doxycycline, which I believe is just an antibiotic to help prevent any infections or anything. So I think I'm only taking these for like take one tablet by mouth twice a day with food. So I think I'm only taking these for like 5 days. So in preparation for the ERA, I'm taking them, and then once the ERA is done, I'm not going to have to take them anymore. So that's what I'm taking as well. And then of course, Old Faithful PIO. So I started these a couple of days ago. So the funny thing is, because of my last ERA report or analysis or whatever the word is, obviously I was pre-receptive. So I had to take my first PIO shot at 1 a.m. And then I had to take another one the following, the same day at 9 p.m. And so that's just that extra kind of time that I needed, you know, that my report showed that I needed the extra progesterone. So I had to take one additional PIO shot in preparation for the ERA or mock transfer cycle. So I started my PIO. I think that's really it. I'm just really just trying to get my mind like in the game. I mean, now I feel like time has gone by so quickly. When I first told you guys about the potential of doing a spring cycle, it seems like that was so long ago, but the time has flown by to the point where we're just pretty much a month away from a potential transfer, which is like just crazy. It's so crazy to me. But I think now I'm a little bit more like, okay, you know, because you don't really have a choice when they're like, hey, I called in a prescription for you, take these pills on these days, come in for an ultrasound this day, come in for your blood work. You have to kind of like get your mind in the game and like be like, okay, cool, like let's just do this. And so I think that's where I am now. I'm like, okay, I'm in it. Like there's no turning back now, you know. And so I'm in the ERA prep, mock cycle prep. And so I'm just like, okay, I'm taking my pills, I'm doing my ultrasounds. My ERA test will actually be next week. And like I said, they only have to take one biopsy, which is going to be amazing, because the last time I did the ERA test, I had to do the biopsies 2 different days, like back to back. And so I'll link my ERA video to this video for you guys who are not familiar or want to hear more about what the ERA test is. But the test was very painful, even though it was very quick. The doctor is pretty much uses a catheter and goes in and takes a small chunk of your uterine lining, I'm assuming your uterus, and takes it out and then sends it to a lab to be tested. And so it's a really, really quick procedure, but it's very uncomfortable and very, very painful. And so I decided to do an ERA test again because I was like, you know what, my new baby, my next baby deserves to have the same chances that I gave Victory. Like when I was trying for Victory, I was doing everything. Like I was like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. And so this time around, I didn't really want to go into a transfer just kind of lax, like, oh, whatever, you know, because I worked really, really hard for those embryos. We pay a lot of money to get where we are now, where we have 2 babies frozen in the freezer. And so I want to give this next baby the same chances I gave for Victory. And so if the test comes back that nothing has changed, and I'll just move forward like, you know, how I've done in the past. Or if the test comes back and says that something has changed with my uterus, then I'll be happy to say, okay, I'm glad I did that ERA test, and I'm glad that I found this information out. And so it's one of those things where you rather do it and then not need it, and rather not do it and be like, oh, I should have did that ERA test, you know. And so I'm just giving my baby the best possible chance, as I did with my other embryos, and I'm doing all that I can, and that's all I really can do. So as I said, I did start acupuncture. I'm going to be going every week, and I think the acupuncture will just help overall, just with everything, with just the stress of being a mom and preparing for another transfer, and the anxiety that comes with IVF. And then it'll also help as it did before, like with my uterine lining and everything. And also I really do believe that doing acupuncture throughout my whole pregnancy is really one of the reasons why. Also, of course, diet and exercise, but acupuncture as well really helped me have the amazing pregnancy that I had with Victory. And so I'm just praying right now that our new baby gives me the same beautiful pregnancy that I had with Victory. I had just a few weeks of nausea, and then after that I was just like good. Like, I didn't have any swelling, I didn't have any nausea, any vomiting, any of that. And I went through acupuncture all the way until birth. Pretty much 3 days before my C-section was the last acupuncture session I had, and I started going, you know, I was going weekly at first, and then I started going like every month, and so like towards the end. But I am in full ERA prep mode, and I am just really excited that I'm doing everything that I possibly can to make sure that I'm preparing a place that is nice and cozy, and going to be a place where my embryo can grow and become possibly our new baby, hopefully later on this year. So I think for now I'm just really focusing on getting myself mentally prepared, and then knowing that I do have little victory, and so things will be a little different this time around because I am doing all the preparations and a transfer with a toddler. And so I'm just really, I'm grateful that she's such an amazing kid. I mean, she sleeps well, she takes her naps faithfully. She takes 2 naps still, and she sleeps like 10 hours a night. And so for that reason, I feel like we're doing this at a perfect time, just because Victory doesn't require as much like attention as, let's say, a newborn or something. So I know when she's gonna nap, I know when she's gonna go down for bed, and then I'll have that time if I need to do whatever, if I need to rest or work or whatever. And so I feel like this is the perfect time, and it'll be amazing to have 2 under 2. I'm sure it's going to be a whole lot of work, and there will be a bunch of challenges that'll come with that, but I'm just really excited. I'm excited to go through this process all over again, but eventually, hopefully, you know, we'll have another little miracle. And sometimes I just look at Victory and I still can't believe that all the work that I put in for her, and I look at her little face and I'm just like, I can't believe that you're here. Like, I can't believe that, you know, everything that we've gone through has led us to this moment. And so I'm just hoping for another opportunity to have another miracle baby to love on, and to become a mom all over again. That's really it. I hope you guys enjoy hearing this update of what's going on for baby number 2. So thank you guys so much for your support and for encouraging me along the way on my journey. And if you guys have any other questions, or if you guys are preparing for an IVF cycle or a transfer, I would love to hear from you down below in the comments. If you are not a part of my family, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so that you don't miss any of the updates that I will be posting as it relates to my journey and my family. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll be back next time with another video. Bye.